Samson, the Eric Spoelstra. We'll get to briefcases, Billy, because I want to get your thoughts on this. But the Spoelstra contract, what did you make of that? The Heat don't usually do that stuff where they announce an extension with actual figures. That's not something that they go about doing very often. So I was surprised to see this. And the timing was interesting, too, for reasons I'm sure you noticed.
Well, it's hard. Did everybody notice that this was announced? He's got it. This is the last year of his deal. So it's a nice contract to give. He's got the most money, the biggest contract ever. Not the highest paid per year, but the most guaranteed money. And it gets announced and done after his divorce is over. And I'm sorry to talk about that, but it's not a coincidence. And I think anyone around the business of sports has been a part of this, where a player has come up to us or a coach or a staff member saying, hey, I'm in the middle of a divorce. Can we not do our contract until my divorce is over? And as an executive, my answer was always the same. Hey, we're going to do it when we do it. And you better take care of your business now. Because if you think that you're going to sign a big contract for $100 million 2 weeks after a divorce is finalized, and that your ex is not going to have something to say about it, that just means that your ex has bad lawyers. So I understand what Eric may have been trying to do, what the Heat may have been trying to do, but I assume his wife wasn't born yesterday. I assume this doesn't come as a major surprise to anybody on either side. But I'm happy for Eric, but I feel for what he's going through. But it is awesome seeing the pictures of him as video coordinator now as the highest notionally paid coach ever. It's amazing.
Are you sorry to bring up the divorce?
No.
I feel bad for what he's going through, but I'm just going to point out all the uncomfortable stuff.
Yeah, because there's other interesting stuff here.
Do you feel bad for what he's going through?
No, I can relate to it. I don't feel badly for it.
You just said you did.
So 50% of what you said was true.
It seems like something that you said there was less than honest. Like all of the things you just said cannot be true. Did you just pay lip service, legitimate lip service to, yeah, I'm supposed to say here that I'm sorry to point out the divorce, and I'm supposed to stay here that I feel terribly for people getting divorced, but I'm a loveless person.
Didn't say that.
All I
said is
correction. Correction. You know what? I apologize. You're not a loveless person. You love content. So you don't.
At least he found love, Dan. I mean,
that's worse. You're killing me. So it's a very interesting business question, is when a deal gets finalized, and this happens not just in divorce, it happens when you sell a house. What happens if you sell a house and then all of a sudden gold is discovered under the house? Do you get to keep that gold? Or does the former owner of the house have a claim to that gold that was reasonably known or could have been known to have been in there but had not been discovered prior to the sale? Any thoughts on that?
You have to find the gold during the time that you live in the house. Otherwise, it's the next person's gold.
No, but he's saying in the interim. He's saying you're asking the question as a hypothetical. You're in the process of selling your house. You have sold your house, agreed in principle to terms, but haven't actually signed the paperwork, and now you find gold under your house.
And the question is, who gets the gold? What is the value assigned to it, and how do you split that? And so there are things that you do in a contract when you have a sports figure, whether it's a coach or a player, everybody publicly knows the terms of your deal but it doesn't matter, because in a divorce, there's something called discovery, where Eric Spoelstra's wife gets to see everything about Eric Spoelstra's life. And she knows through her lawyers that his contract, what it is with the Heat, she gets a copy of it if she hadn't seen it before, all the provisions. She knows what every other coach is getting paid. And then she knows what he can expect to get paid as a quote-unquote free agent coach. So he signs this deal. Does she not get a part of that as part of what his total estate is that gets split upon his divorce? Is he fooling anybody with this extension? The timing and the announcement is bizarre to me. Is it possible that he did, and this is where maybe there's a little personal knowledge in here, Is it not of him, but of other people? Is it possible that he did a global settlement where he gave her X dollars and that's the end of it, and he can go find whatever gold he wants from the Heat? He can get ownership of the Heat, or he can find $10 million hidden under his home and his wife doesn't get that. All of those things are possible, but I think the timing is interesting. But from a basketball standpoint, is he the greatest coach of all time? Is that why he deserves that amount of money? And I had a hard time saying no to that, and that surprised me.
I erred here in not playing the reckless speculation sound.
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation.
You're good.
Well, it's a little late.
I
All of
know.
that. He already made the point.
I know, but I had to
everything.
say it.
Would you guys want to find gold? Because, like, finding gold here's the thing about gold.
Yes.
Gold is, for the most part, like, marked or stamped, right? So you need to have a plan of how you're going to melt it down and reform the gold so that you lose that. And if you find, like, treasure, it's always going to be like Spain claims that belongs to like the castle or whatever, like the royal family. Like there's no gold that's out there that is unclaimed. Like this idea of we're going to find treasure and I'm going to keep it and be rich doesn't exist unless you have like someone on the black market that you can kind of melt down the gold and the jewels and sell it through.
How about any Cuban jewelry that has a melter in the back that you can just go to, hey, papi, go aquí, and
I'm
then
just
you
saying,
cut him a little piece, that's it.
If you find gold, and David, maybe you know about this, I don't know, but if you find gold or money, you can't just like flaunt it. Like you need to live in poverty. You can't. If you find $150,000 in cash, you have to turn it in because someone's gonna come looking for it. And if you turn it in, they're like, "Here's a $400 like finder's fee."
Turn it in.
No, that's how it works.
Talking
guys.
about?
That's how it works.
Turn it in
Finders
where?
keepers. I mean,
To the cops?
You can't
please.
flaunt it. You can't flaunt it because then people are gonna be like, "Where did all that money come
going
from?"
right in my closet.
And then that's the thing. You need to do it like that. But the person that lost it, if it was in the house before you, they're gonna know they lost that money and they're gonna come looking for it.
So if you find $150K in a briefcase on the street,
Yeah.
that's what you're referring to, that you're going to return the briefcase and you're going to hope for a reward?
Well, he might
Is that-
return the money and keep
And
the
keep it,
briefcase.
yes.
based on-
Yeah, I tell them, like, you guys, I just want the
Found a
briefcase.
briefcase.
Yeah,
Whoa.
exactly right. Free briefcase, we're square. We're good here. Little scratch for daddy, we're good.
Billy did say in the middle of all that, who gets the gold? He did say the government. The government gets the gold in the interim. In that
You don't end up with I'm telling you, some Spanish something is going to come and be like, oh, that was ours. We lost that. Give it back to us now. Thank you.
we have failed, both the Heat and Eric Spoelstra, in how we've discussed this for 10 minutes. Because to me, the story is a guy from the video room. A guy works his way up through the stability of an organization, learning at the knee of a legend who is now a bit of a yammerer. Eric Spoelstra is somebody who's clearly in line to run this franchise, not just as coach, in whatever incarnation the franchise looks. My guess is they're making promises to him about having power beyond coaching.
it's a great story. It'd be like Lewis rising all the way up to your level. I mean, that's what it would be like. Seriously, video room to running the company. It's a fantastic, amazing story, and he is the best coach in the NBA. There's no question about it, for my money.
You don't
Is that
have
because he
any
gets the
money
most
here.
out of the least?
Hopefully, I'll find some.
Well, it's because he's evolved. It's because he's done it with a variety of different different ways, Look, I went to the dentist yesterday. I'm going to tell this story. No, later. And the advancements in dentistry showed me that your dentists need to evolve.
The rare dental teeth. I mean,
That's right. I've got
I'm going to tell the
I'm locked
story.
in, though.
Not now.
I
Later.
can't.
Coming up,
wait. I
coming up
cannot
on the
wait.
10 o'clock
It's a
hour.
good story.
Dan went to the dentist.
It's a good story. I'm promising you that I learned something. I had my eyes opened yesterday. I did not know that the dentist could be a pleasant experience, like a spa. Didn't know that they have gotten. Yes.
Now I'm intrigued.
See? Now you don't even want me to tease it for later. You want me to tell you
I want
right
it
now
now.
what it is.
It's been a while for me.
But no, he's evolved, David. He hasn't gotten stuck in his ways. He clearly can win with an assortment of different parts, and he's clearly making parts that we don't think anything of better. I don't know who else you would go with. I mean, Pop would get the most of the attention there, but we've seen the last couple of years what happens when Pop has some Gabe Vincents.
The highest paid coach right now, I believe, is Monty Williams. But that is reckless speculation. I believe he is the highest paid.
No, that's right. The Pistons coach makes $78.5 million guaranteed.
They're 3-34.
That's correct.
Is this a situation like quarterbacks in the NFL where like every coach is going to be the next highest paid coach?
Not every coach, but Monty Williams in Detroit, they had to incentivize it in order to. Amin told us he didn't even want to coach, but it became so much money that he had to. So he set the standard, and then Eric Spoelstra signs for this. Before, David, we didn't know the salaries of coaches. When and how did that change?
Well, internally, we always knew as industries, you're given actually a survey. When you hire a coach, you're sort of told where that coach should slot in according to the years of experience and what the ceiling would be. That's why everyone was so angry when the Cubs gave Counsell what he got, or when Monty Williams got what he got. We got in trouble when we gave Ozzie Guillen what we gave Ozzie Guillen in terms of years and money. We overpaid. It's funny you guys think we didn't pay enough. We overpaid for a manager and got in trouble for it. And I think it's them and their agents trying to extract more money, thinking that they are responsible for the success of the team. Is Eric Spoelstra responsible, or is it the person who gives Eric Spoelstra the players? That's the question that is the eternal question.
Well, the stability, though. I want to talk about the stability because you shrug your shoulders, David, but there's not a lot of precedent for Guy being with organization long enough. Now, when I say Guy, I mean Pat Riley, too. I don't mean just Spoelstra, to even make the climb because organizations have so much turnover that you don't have the same voice all the time. This has been 30 years of the same voice.
It is a unique example. I think people in Miami don't realize the combination of Spoelstra and Riley specifically, what he's done for the amount of years, it's unheard of. It's truly amazing. He didn't have this with the Lakers or the Knicks. He's a Heat. He's actually, if Pat Riley, Hall of Fame, he's a Heat, which is hard to imagine given that, are there people in Miami who don't realize he was the coach of the Showtime Lakers? I guess there probably are. Which blows my mind. He should be known as a Laker guy or a Knick guy.
But he's a Heat.
He's Heat?
It's a weird thing to say.
Do the Heat have the strangest name in all of sports? And that, like, when you say someone's a Heat.
The singular ones are tough. He's a Jazz doesn't work either.
Lightning, Avalanche.
He's a Magic.
All right,
He's
they all
a Panther. I think that the Heat suffer, though. I think you talk about continuity and turnover. I like turnover a little bit. I had too much, but I think the Heat have too little. I think new voices become important. I think there's a staleness. You're seeing it a little with Golden State. I think that Steve Kerr's gotten a little bit stale, and I think that eventually you have to make a change.